Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. All these counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
Yes, we'll do it live. Yes,
the fucking
Thank you, Bill.
Sucks.
Thank you, Bill, for opening us up. Yes. Welcome to the podcast. And
welcome. Yes.
Yeah. I'm on screen this time because I'm feeling better. I'm not 100% yet, but I am doing way better than I was last week. So
yeah,
yay,
that's good.
We do have an exciting show. We got the classic original Captain America movie to talk about. The original.
Everybody knows the Captain original. America.
Yeah. And then we're going to talk about the end of season 4 of Star Trek Discovery. And then we're going to talk about the Invisible Man again, except not the original. We're going to talk about the recent one from 2020.
2019, I think.
No, 2020.
2020, that's right.
Well, I actually know that quite well. No, we'll get into it when we get into the movie because I have a little interesting footnote about this movie.
Okay.
But yes. But before we get into this, I'll go ahead and share the link. So Lindsay, my co-host on our Star Trek streams with my daughter, he is he's having a rough time, guys. I linked a GoFundMe in the chat. Essentially going over this, I actually misreported a bit of this to you, Bobby, because I didn't remember. So I'll just go ahead and read over this real fast. My name is Rose LeGroux. I don't know who that is, but Patrick Pankhurst is my godfather, and his son Lindsay and I have known each other since we were babies. Today, along with close family and friends, I'm reaching out to ask for your help. On Friday, January 3rd, 2025, Patrick was involved in a serious bike accident and is currently in the hospital being treated for a brain injury. Just days later, on Wednesday night, the Eaton wildfires devastate the foothills of Altadena, destroying the home that Patrick shared with Lindsay. Patrick has not yet been informed of the loss, so I hope he's not watching this, as the news would be too overwhelming, and he needs all his focus on recovering, which will be a long journey. So yeah, they're going through a rough time, guys. So if you can, I just ask that you contribute. If you can't contribute, what I would ask is share this GoFundMe. It's do what you can, help out. Lindsay is a great guy. I've not directly met his father. I know his father's been in videos and stuff. His father actually had a bit role. I know he's probably had bigger acting credits, but I know him because he had a bit role in Halloween 3. He was one of the guys in the lab coat. I remember like charting out and finding the scene with him in it where you can clearly see him, and he actually has a line, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they need help, guys. Go help them if you can. I just want to give them a shout out before we get into the main festivities today. Anyways, I guess I haven't properly introduced you yet, Bobby. How you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing super.
Yeah.
Super right now. I actually just realized I forgot to stream this to my channel, so that is exactly what I'm doing now.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I just can't update well, it looks like it's just going to be my mug on my channel. Nothing I can do about that now.
Oh, well.
I have the image. I'll update it later.
It's all good. But yeah, that's I just wanted to let people know about that because Lindsay, I've been like Lindsay is actually my first YouTube friend. So we've been known each other for a while. We've never actually met because we're on different sides of the country. But yeah, he's a good guy. Needs help. If you can, please help him.
Yeah. He's been on the show before, and yeah, Lindsay's a very nice guy.
Yes,
and
very
awesome. It's just a shame.
Yes. So I just want to make sure to shout that out. And I guess time for the main show.
Yeah.
So Bobby, before we get rolling into this, let me ask you this: if you ever watch a Captain America movie, like, was there one thing you ever wanted more in a Captain America movie when you watch one?
A funky soundtrack.
Well, definitely a funky soundtrack, but there is something very unique that I think a Captain America movie needs, and that is a lot of driving.
The guy from Space Mutiny?
Yes, the guy from Space Mutiny too. But I think half the movie needs to be driving scenes, like driving a van, driving a motorcycle.
They paid for that van.
Yeah,
they're gonna film it.
Yeah, I think you need to do that. Well, guess what? Guess what, guys? Are you pumped? Because Captain America 1979 exists.
It's called padding, Bob.
He spends so much of this movie driving.
It's called padding. I mean, we have to see how he gets there. We can't just walk off camera and then
he just magically got there. Yeah,
like come on.
We have to know.
We're the audience.
Did he use his turn signal? We don't know.
Yeah, did he take the scenic route or did he just jump on the highway? Like
we don't know.
Did he use surface streets?
Yeah.
Either way, they got the footage. They're gonna film it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go ahead and like a little bit of backstory. I haven't seen this till like a couple hours ago. I did attempt to watch it Christmas Eve, but it was taken down. As far as I know, this movie isn't commercially available anywhere, so I thought maybe I'd get away with streaming it, but no. They just want it not to exist. Which honestly I think is a little weird because like I this is a great movie by any means, but it's honestly not as bad as I expected.
Yeah, they play with the lore a bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wasn't expecting it to be exactly lore accurate. The shield looks awful, but I mean, there's lots
terrible.
Yeah. There's so many. There's lots of obviously budget issues.
Oh,
the acting's not amazing at all.
The suit looks silly as hell.
Oh, suit's rough. Suit's rough.
You can't tell me that's not. I mean, great title card though.
Yeah, I hate how the shield's transparent and clearly just a flimsy piece of plastic. I hate that. Oh god, yeah. And when he's driving and the shield's clearly flapping down to the wind, not really selling me on the strength of the shield. They're not selling that.
That's the vibranium, man. We're good.
Oh yeah. It just can't. It can deflect everything but wind.
It's the right angle, man. It's like wind and drag.
Yeah. We do get this is the Captain America movie starring Reb Brown, famous from Space Mutiny.
Yes,
he played. I want to say, Butch Slamhard in Space Mutiny. I want to say
didn't like that. Some pro wrestler sounding name.
Joe McMuscle.
Joey Bench Press, yeah.
but yeah, this very much has a soundtrack for the time period. If you're curious, because I was looking it up because I was like, what? When was this made in comparison to the Incredible Hulk? And it was made like right in the heyday when the Incredible Hulk was popular. And yes, it was a project because that series was fairly successful. They're like, okay, let's try some more Marvel properties. That's kind of where we got that Doctor Strange movie we watched a couple years ago, and that's where we get this. This is better than that Doctor Strange movie, by the way. As much as I have complaints about this does drag. There's way too much driving. The acting's not great. The story is a little wonky. But again, as I said, all that in play, this isn't nearly as painful a watch as I anticipated. You sent me the trailer for Captain America 1990.
No,
I will happily say
that's a full version.
Oh, that's the full movie. I didn't even look.
I think it was a full one I found on YouTube. Yeah,
I saw that years ago anyway. But this is way better than that. I'll just give this one credit for that. I will say I do have lots of questions. So, obviously, this is a version where Steve Rogers is trapped in ice. Steve Rogers is just a guy who's visiting
American boy.
Yeah, and he's being targeted to get murdered. We don't know why, and I'm still little fuzzy on why they're just ready to kill him immediately. But okay, I guess get action scenes there early
because he's Steve Rogers. That's why.
Oh, okay. But then he meets with a scientist who isn't a defector from Germany, who is working with a serum developed by Steve's dad. And here's something I was really confused about. Like, what is Steve's history with his dad? Because he seems to not know anything about his dad. This scientist has to tell him everything. That not him. Well, the scientist is there. There, that guy. That guy's telling Steve everything about his dad. And I'm like, why doesn't Steve know about his own father? I'm kind of confused on that one. But apparently his father developed this secret formula. He injected himself with it and was a superhero. And Steve had no idea about any of this. It's like, okay, huh? What? Did you want up, Elam? Come on,
pardon
cat's
me.
Messing with me now. But anyways, it's so the scientist tells Steve about his serum, but he also says, "Hey, I've been experimenting with this serum for 6 years. Here's all the super strong rats, and they'll all be dead in a couple days." And my first thought is, how many rats has this guy killed? He's been doing this for 6 years, and he lasts for like a week. I mean, holy shit! Holy
yeah. Hold on one second.
No problem. But yeah, so the scientist dude who's on screen, he's experimenting on rats. He's telling Steve about his past history. So Steve, he thinks Steve will be able to accept the serum, which is called Flag. Get it? But yeah, he's taking he thinks Steve will be able to accept it because his dad took it and survived. So therefore, Steve should be able to take it and survive.
Yeah, sorry about that.
And it's like, well, he could also die too. But the villains who are trying to kill Steve do make like another attempt at him, and he gets terribly injured, and he's almost dead. So the scientist decides, fuck it, gives him the serum. And as Steve is at first upset, and then he's like, well, wait, do I have superpowers now? And then he's pretty cool with it fairly quickly. And then they go out and stop the bad guys. And that's kind of the movie. He gets a really bad Captain America costume. He gets a really bad shield. He gets a motorcycle because, God forbid, this movie not have enough driving. This isn't great. This isn't high budget. And yeah, and I was talking about Incredible Hulk because this was kind of meant to be kind of like a setup for a new series, and then the plan was to have this, and then I think Reb Brown even revealed at convention that there would be plans to do like a crossover show with Incredible Hulk, and then his Captain America, and then Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man, which was another failed series. But yeah, they in the 70s they were trying to build the MCU before the MCU even existed.
Marvel been
it's
trying
kind of
to do
a fun
it for a while.
backstory. Yeah. Yeah, and then I do believe I have on the agenda for the second movie, the second Red Brown Captain America movie, for next week, which should be fun.
I'm excited. I am excited for that.
Yeah, no, Bobby, what was your thoughts of this movie?
I really loved the score. I'll be honest with you. I'm a fan of music from that time period.
It's obnoxious and it's in your face.
I didn't find it.
It's kind of fun though, too. Yeah,
I didn't find it obnoxious at all. Like honestly,
I did, but it was fun too.
Well, that's fine.
It grew on me.
It did. I loved it from the moment I heard it. It's not kind of like how like. Okay, you know how Dirty Harry has that score that will just come in out of nowhere with the heavy flutes and everything in the woods? Or have you not seen any Dirty Harry?
I have not seen Dirty Harry,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, yeah, the score does that, and to me sometimes it's a little obnoxious, but I see it's like the theme, and it plays under. But a lot of films in this time period, kind of did this.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like kind of like a trope of the time. But I just enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah.
The movie itself, it was.
It's not great art. No. Like I said, I don't know if I'd call it good.
At Steve being dumb the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it good, but again, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I was walking kind of expecting just a shit show, and it wasn't that. It wasn't.
I just kind of kept saying to myself, "I am Steve Rogers."
Yes,
I am Steve Rogers.
They do incorporate the fact that Steve can draw, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, his worst drawing was by far the uniform, which they actually make him wear.
Yeah, that was.
And that shield, I'm sorry, that shield is dreadful. Like, whoever decided to get rid of the white stripes and turn them clear, that person should be fired.
Stan, man,
yeah.
How much coke were you on, my dude?
Oh yeah, and this is where he was grinning and shooting oil at the bad guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh god. Yeah. Oh yeah, we do get this uniform, but right at the end. This is like the last shot where he's actually in this uniform. Doesn't look good, but yeah.
Oh no, it did not look good.
Yeah, none of the uniforms looked good. Yeah. Strangely, do not hate this. Not great, but don't hate this. Let's see. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
I'm excited to watch the dumpster
sequel?
fire that is the sequel. Yeah, and the following 1991.
Oh God!
Because anytime I try to find some more about like the production of this. Mm-hmm. But everything that would pop up would be the original. Would be the 1991. So
the 1991 definitely has a bigger budget. It is so much.
They definitely did their people have definitely worked hard to scrub this thing from existence,
which is confusing. This is, in my opinion, this is vastly superior to the 1991. 1991, as I recall, might be one of my least favorite comic book movies of all time. Just so bad. Let's see. Red Brown was the only choice to play Captain America, being a perfect fit in the comic book criteria. He was also a martial art. I did not know he was a martial artist. He had to be under contract for Universal Studios, which made this movie. They recast the love interest, Dr. Wendy, between the two movies. I did not. I guess I won't know that, but yeah. Yeah, not a whole lot. Red Brown is a big Captain America fan. Well, good. But yeah, I guess we're ready for Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, let's get on with that.
Okay.
Because I realized something about how I've said there's always something about this show that just really irks me and I can't place it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a lot of Michael's decision making as a character.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll let you know. I kind of really like the ending of this season. I liked it. I think overall I liked this.
This was all right.
So
yes, this was an all right.
I'm kind of interested what your
no, it was overall just a lot of the
Okay.
overall decisions. And I've been trying to. I was thinking about it while I was watching these episodes, and I came to that conclusion with it. So I just think like sometimes as a character, her decision making pisses me off as a Star Trek fan, and it's more of like, God, why do I have to root for you? You are so dumb sometimes. Like it's frustrating to me because I
guess,
want to like you.
I mean, what are you talking about specifically? Because I don't recall having a serious issue. I mean, there are some things where, like obviously she's trying to make contact with the species 10C, and then obviously Booker and Tarka are trying to destroy it, and there's actually clear arguments for both, and that's one of the things I like. And then also the other big divergence was her choosing to go to the planet where 10C once lived to investigate, and then the representative from Earth saying no, we should just go talk to them immediately. And I think that one in particular, I think there's arguments for and against that are pretty good as well, especially when you're dealing with a ticking clock. It's like, yeah, we can pick up evidence and maybe help with the communication process, but maybe it's better just to dive right in and see what happens, especially with the ticking clock.
Yeah, I think that's really what triggered it for me. Like her going there to do the investigation first.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like,
so what is it? Is it like that two different factions won't play nice with each other, or would it wipe out the entire existence of not one but two planets? What exact ticking clock are we dealing with in this scenario? And I think just because of that, and it just started making me think, like, you know what? You've made a lot of decisions that have really pissed me off, just as a Star Trek fan. And I think that's what it is. But this new season, they're back to where they should be. Everything should be good. So we'll see moving forward. Maybe it was just like I didn't like what they did. Maybe I just didn't like what they've done with this season, and I feel like let down because they could have done more with it than what I should have.
I don't think you're alone. There's lots of people who have mixed feelings about this season. I think I'm kind of a fan of this season. I haven't seen the last season yet, but of the 4 seasons, I think overall this is probably my favorite. But I don't know if I'm in the minority on that. I might be, because I know lots of people have issues with this season. And I guess I can't really judge the scores because all this shit gets review bombed anymore because fucking chuds. You can't trust user scores anymore because of chuds. It's not like user scores are like a gospel or anything, but it's so annoying.
Well, how many people hold what Rotten Tomatoes has as high regard?
Yeah. It's like these are at best advisories.
I'm asking, like, I know that you don't. Yeah. I know that you and I view that as the same. Like, I don't give a fuck what that score means. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's interesting to know. Okay,
cool. That's a satire site. Who cares what they have to say? Like, who cares? Yeah. I don't know. I like I said, I feel let down where I felt they could have done more with this season and where they are in the storyline, like with them going forward so far in time. They could have just done more with it, and I feel maybe just let down. Maybe that's just me as a Star Trek fan.
No, we'll see what is going forward, but I don't know. Like I said, I overall I like this season quite a bit. Yes, I did think it was a little bit cringe to have Stacey Abrams at the end of it, but it kind of got made up for because for me, you know what made up for it?
Yeah, that was a little cringe.
Well, you know what made up for it? Ted Cruz having an absolute bitch fit on Twitter about it. And I was just like, I'm fine with it now.
Wait. I missed this. What did Teddy Boy say?
Oh yeah, I could probably dig it up. But it was kind of
sad from the human being of a person.
I'm sure I can dig it up.
No, I can't even. I wish I could add it to the stream now because I would. What I am going to do is I'm going to text it to you, and you can save it to your phone, and we could use it as a file photo, as our stock file photo for Ted Cruz.
Yeah. I thought there was a bit more in this, but yeah, this is the tweet I was able to find where he's like, "What the hell is this?" And it's like, it's Star Trek, Ted.
It's
Have
not
you seen
bad,
it before?
actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, listen, I'm not thrilled with her being there at the 2. I'm like, but at the same time, he's gonna throw a fit about. It's like, okay, fine, you got him to throw a fit. Points in my book. But yeah, overall, so a couple, like, I guess we'll go over the episodes real fast. So Galactic Barrier, this is something I wasn't sure about because I was like, okay, so there's a galactic barrier, and that's something I'm not familiar with. But I went back and I watched some old Star Trek. And yes, the galactic barrier is something they encounter occasionally in TOS. Apparently in the Star Trek universe, there is a barrier around the Milky Way galaxy that you have to pass through to get past it. They've dealt with it a little bit in TOS and a little bit with I think they pass it once in TNG as well. But and then that's been about it until this. And this at least treats it like a big deal. Like TNG, or not TNG, but TOS is like they go at warp 9.5 through it, and then they completely like overshoot it, and then they have to figure out how to get back.
Yeah. Yeah, you see, like,
because
if they would've had
TOS
some-
is kind of wild.
Well, yeah, but if like they would have had some subplot like that, or that there was like some race of aliens, like
Yeah.
mining the remnants of old planets that the TC or the TC9, right? anomaly.
Species 10C or
Thank
the
you.
DMA.
Yeah. The 10C. Something that
Mhm.
10C had destroyed, but there's still like remnants and fragments of a planet floating around,
Mm.
And these aliens are harvesting whatever they can from it. Like them dealing with like pirates like that. Some
Mhm.
side plot like that. Just give me something like that. I don't know. Like I just thought I was disappointed with this season.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was kind of happy to see it end.
Mhm. I don't know. I kind of like the figuring out how to communicate and how they figure out how to communicate. I will say, when they went to explore the planet, while I agree with Michael to go to explore the planet, I think it would have been fair for her to say, okay, let's set a hard time limit because that thing's going to be hitting Earth soon. So let's say you go to that planet for 1 hour. After 1 hour, you guys get beamed up. If we can't beam you up, we're leaving you. You go find what you can. I think something like that won't have been reasonable to set down there. And instead, it seemed like we're going to go down there and do what we need to. And it's like, I get being reticent and me like, let's just rush forward and go talk to them. And then figure out how to communicate with them. I think kind of works. It's mostly a 10C kind of more reaching out to them towards the end, but it kind of works. And yeah, I like this season. So there's where I'm at with it. We'll see how the series wraps up.
Yes,
next
we'll
couple
see how it
weeks.
wraps up. Yeah,
But yes, yeah. And that, I guess that brings us to Invisible Man.
yeah.
All right.
This was interesting.
Yeah. So the reason why I wanted to go over this, why I have a little backstory, and why I know this is 2020, because fun fact, Bobby, this was literally the last movie I saw before theaters shut down for COVID.
Okay.
This was it. And I was looking it up, and this came out like 2 weeks before the COVID shutdown. I remember there was like a movie or two I was thinking about going out to see, but they didn't happen. And I did see this movie though. And I remember liking it, and I was like, well, I'll rewatch it, see what I think. And I still really like this movie. This is I think Leigh Whannell is kind of. I was actually kind of surprised because I know I was like, how many movies has he directed? And I looked it up, and I found out that I have actually seen all the movies he's directed. Let's see. So yeah, I've not seen his Deftones music video, but I did see Insidious 3. I saw Upgrade.
Which one
and I
did
saw
he
Invisible
direct?
Man.
Which one did he direct?
A Ceremony. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. But and then he has Wolfman coming up, which is on the agenda. Only the second Blumhouse movie since they bought the Universal Monsters. Since Tom Cruise failed to make his universe, thank God. And I only say thank God because like it seemed like Tom Cruise just wanted to make an MCU out of the Universal Monsters, and I'm like, that's not the same franchise, bro. If you want if you want to do the superhero thing, buy the Valiant comic franchise or some shit like that.
Fuck him now and forever.
I know.
Fuck him now and forever. Everything he makes, I will say, is a piece of shit because of that.
Well, that Mummy
forever
movie was really bad.
Forever. I don't care. Doesn't matter. It is a piece of shit. That just future clarity. Because we watched 2 Tom Cruise movies. You're like, I don't know why you hate this as much as you do, man. But yes, that is why.
Yeah. Well, I will say that Mummy movie was fucking atrocious.
Yeah, that was really bad.
But you know what?
I hated it the second they all got on an airplane because I knew what was coming, and I just fuck him now and forever.
But so he failed with his monster franchise, and then Blumhouse bought the rights to Universal Monsters, and this was their first entry, The Invisible Man. An interesting pick.
What was the music video name again? I'm sorry.
Ceremony by Deftones.
Thank you.
You got stuck in a trance about how much you hate Tom Cruise.
Fucking yes. Fuck.
Listen, I'm largely okay with his movies. I'm not okay with his Scientology. Fuck that.
No, yeah, I mean that isn't as an appealing trait about him at all. Like,
but I will say, I actually, they might be doing a Mummy. We're talking about Invisible Man now. Don't distract me, David. I'm sure they'll do a Mummy at some point. I actually think this is a very cool movie. And I think what is kind of cool about this, like now that I've seen this after watching the original fairly recently, is I feel like Leigh Whannell takes some cues from it, like how.
By the way.
Yes, it's actually good to have watched it. Not nearly as big a body count as this one, though.
No, he didn't quite take out a train.
No,
that's my only.
The other one wasn't.
That's the only complaint I have. I have another,
well,
but I'll get to it.
Well, I mean, the original, like the body count wasn't that big, and all of a sudden it was like he was like, "Oh shit, I need to goose these numbers. Let's derail this train." It's like, holy shit, you just went from single to triple digits.
I need to cause some real mayhem here.
Yes.
Let me knock this train off its course.
But Leigh Whannell, I feel like definitely saw that movie because there's definitely cues from this movie that I noticed. Number one, how at the beginning he's just a dick. He is just a dick at the beginning to her.
Yeah.
And then obviously later it gets more mayhem, and he does get a higher than you would expect body count in this. And he doesn't derail a train, but he does. There is a point where he is just murdering people left and right. And the other big cue I noticed was that he really goes out of his way to not show. So Adrian's the Invisible Man. He really goes out of his way to avoid showing him as much as possible. There's a bit at the end where he kind of has to, but like we see so little of him in this movie. It's almost all Invisible Man stuff. And the other thing I really like about this movie is how much it plays with. I mean, there's quite a few things I like. I like the atmosphere. I like the whole idea of this guy just being a gaslighting piece of shit. I like how this movie plays with empty space. How often the camera will just stay in an empty room where just nothing happens, but you're looking for something to happen. I like that. And then little bits like when she's outside and it's cold and you see her breathing and then you see a breath behind her, shit like that. It's always fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie quite a bit. Bobby, what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the idea that they played around with him with the suit. That was at first I was kind of, I don't know. I think I kind of hate that idea, But then I kind of got to see more about it, and the more I
Yeah.
thought about it, the more I was like, you know what, I kind of like it, and this is definitely more of like a modern telling
Yeah.
of it. I kind of like the deception curve at the end
Yes.
there,
Yeah.
where like, you know, you find the brother all chained up, and then you find you find Adrian all chained up, and when in fact the Invisible Man was his brother the whole time. Which, ooh, what a twist!
Mhm.
But I don't know. I didn't trust him.
Well, I mean, his
I'd-
brother was just being manipulated by Adrian too, and
Yeah,
I like
obviously.
how I guess Cecilia, I was forgetting her name, but it's right in front of me. Cecilia, just kind of you know, it's set up. The ending is set up to be this thing where she traps him in some sort of confession, and you know he gets arrested and all that jazz, and we all seen it before. And the movie decides, and essentially the character decides, fuck it. You know what? Fuck this shit. And essentially just she walks off in the other room, puts on an Invisible Man thing, and has him and just has him commit suicide right there.
On
It's
camera.
like, yeah, and it's like, okay, that's kind of badass.
And then her like faking and then going slowly off camera.
Yeah.
And speaking
She's like,
so
oh, freaking out.
softly.
And then she's off camera. It's like,
And then
yeah.
speaking so
Okay.
softly. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Yeah, that it was kind of in that moment where the whole thing won me over, and I was like, yeah, I would have done the same thing, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they do have some fun with the suit aspect. Like I love when
They
she's
do.
in the ward and she gets to jump on him and she's like stabbing the suit with that pen, and then
Mhm.
like throughout the rest of that scene, you have the suit, but like it's only visible like half the time. So like most of the
Or
time it's
part
invisible,
of.
but every once in a while it'll blink visible, and the guards will be like, "What the fuck?" And it's like
Yeah.
that's a cool thing to play with.
And that's another more of the stuff that really kind of started making me turn on the suit, because when I first saw it and they said what it did, I was like, oh, that's weak. No, boo.
Yeah,
And then I kind of saw that, went, all right, that's kind of freaky.
yeah,
Okay, that. And even with that, I kind of see that like kind of almost paying homage to the original
hmm
by that aspect of, you know, how like in the original he would like kind of steal a hat off somebody,
yeah.
which means he's just standing there buck
Mhm.
naked next to him.
Yeah. No, I kind of love
Like,
that aspect in the original where like
yeah, he could
the
just be
cops are there to bust
he
him,
could be
and he just
helicoptering it
strips
and
off
put
all
it,
his clothes.
and just put their hat on and still just
Yeah.
helicoptering it in the freezing Swiss Alps.
Mhm. But here, I actually wonder if it says anything about the original here. But yeah, no, I really like this movie when I first saw it, and I think I appreciate it a bit more now, kind of after watching the original and like seeing kind of where he was inspired. Like he definitely had his own take on this movie, but like he definitely took
Mhm.
nods from the original, which I really appreciate.
Unlike Tom Cruise's The Mummy,
I'll
which
do a whole
was
bunch
just
more.
god awful.
Okay, so they did a dark universe, and they attempted to start the dark universe with Dracula Untold in 2014, which I want to say it sucks. But then they followed it up
Yeah,
with
that
Tom
movie
Cruise's Mummy
sucked.
in 2017, and it is so much worse, so much worse. It's like, my God. And frankly, this movie is way better, and I'm kind of hoping they aren't planning any sort of monster universe, and they're just going to make variations on the Universal monster stories. Because I'm kind of down for movies kind of like this, depending on what they do with them. I don't know if I want them all modernized. Like this works. I don't know if I want all the Universal monsters done in this
Yeah,
style,
I
though.
think there's a
I don't
certain
know.
aspect
Maybe they'll win me
with,
over in execution.
well,
You know?
I don't know. Like, I think the only way that to adapt the Wolfman to like a modern thing
Mhm.
would probably be like American Werewolf in London, but with that real technology of today.
Yeah. Well, I
Like they
guess
have
we'll find out next
smartphones.
week, because I
Like
think
they have
that's next week. I mean,
smartphones. Yeah, like it's pretty much
yeah.
they have smartphones, which is kind of
Mhm.
what it looks like. They might be doing something similar,
Yeah.
but it's kind of
Yeah.
a cabin property they have or whatever. But either way,
I'm sold by the trailers alone on this
Yeah.
Wolfman one.
Yeah.
Out of all these ones that they are doing revisions of or whatever, I'd love to see I personally would love to see a new telling of Phantom, one that is drifts
Ooh.
away from the musical side of it, like the version that we
Yeah,
watched.
absolutely.
I would
Well, I don't
love
think
to
they have the
see
rights
that.
to the musical. I'd be shocked they do, but they should have the
I
rights to
mean,
the
they could make
classic.
it without it. They can make it
Yeah.
without it. They've done
Oh,
the Hammer
absolutely.
films did it just as the Universal films did it. And I
Mhm.
mean, besides, I think statistically it proves that, you know, there's like probably a 1 in 1 million shot that an actual stage play will translate well into film. I can
Mhm.
think of like 2 successful times that's happened, maybe 3.
Like Cats.
No, successful. Rent, Little Shop of
You see, I haven't
Horrors,
seen Rent.
and yeah, maybe just 2.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the '60s. Funny Thing Happened on the Way to a Forum, but I don't expect a
Okay.
whole lot of people to know that one. But
No,
um,
I don't think a lot of people would catch that one. That is a good one.
but yeah, Zero Mostel is awesome. But yeah, I am a fan of this one. I like how they play around with like gaslighting, and just like psychologically fucking with people. He does a good job of just setting up everybody to hate her throughout the movie. And
Like,
it is like, yeah,
what did
it's like,
she do?
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm watching, and it's like I get her friends and why they're like, "Wow, don't, you're being mental." But then you're also following her, and it's like you get where she's at, but it's like, yeah, well, how does she prove there's an invisible man? Nobody's gonna believe there's an invisible man. And yeah, it takes literally just like proving that he's right fucking there. Until he goes nuts and starts attacking everybody. He pretty much successfully turns all her friends against her. Yeah, I like this movie quite a bit. I like how it plays with the psychological element. I like what it does. I like how it pays homage to the original as well. It's a good movie.
So that's good.
I think you said you had issues with it.
It was just the suit. The suit.
Oh, okay, the
That was
suit,
my
yeah.
my main issue with it.
The suit is kind of silly, but I like what they do with it. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
It won me over, but that was like
Yeah.
my only issue with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think overall this is a well done movie. Yes, that is definitely from the movie, by the way. Can we get actual movie shots? No. Well, movie posters. I wanted to see if they had a shot of the suit. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist as well. If we want to go into the Scientology aspect.
Yeah, I'm also pretty sure she has some very unpopular opinions too.
Yeah. Do we not get this suit?
Like about women dressing up in like the Handmaid's Tale outfits, saying that they're acting unrealistic and something to that regard. I'm not sure.
Well, I guess there's a little bit of the suit where she splashes paint on it. That's not quite the suit, but you can see the patterns, all the cameras that are supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
I did like that shot too, where like you
that
just
was
see nothing,
cool.
and then she throws paint on it. It's like, holy shit, he's right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a fan of this. If they continue in this vein, I want to see what they do.
Yeah, because already this seems like a different, like the Wolfman just off the trailer, they're going different than the original.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, I mean, but if Lee Winnell treats it like he treated this, then it will be definitely inspired by the original, but like a different take, and I'm down for that. Oh, Wicked is an excellent example.
Yes, Wicked is an excellent example.
Good. Yes. Wicked was good. So yeah, I'm a fan of this. Let's see. Anything else you want to add, Bobby?
No.
All right. Well, I guess that's the show. Let me go ahead and think of next week. Because I got somewhere.
I added something to next month.
All right. Let's see. So next week we will be having a load screen. No. Captain America 2, Death Too Soon. And then we got Wolfman. And we got the ending of Skeleton Crew. So that will be fun. Need to track down a copy of Captain America Death Too Soon. But that will be fun to talk about. Oh, okay. That works. Oh, is that
Yeah.
is that the movie by the Short Round? I can't think of the actor's
Yes.
name.
Yes. Cool. Like Koihi.
Yeah. He's awesome
Yeah.
though. Like I saw a
Yes.
trailer for that. I was interested. Yes. So
Yes.
That's
Yes.
awesome. I'm down.
Well, it
I'm
comes
down.
out on
I'm
the
down.
7th, so I was thinking either that or put it
You know,
here.
we can flip steel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Actually, I want to spread out TV series more, so maybe I'll look at and maybe we'll keep Steel over there.
Okay.
I might take.
Okay, I will let you finagle it then.
Yeah. But yeah, that
'Cause-
I'm so
yeah.
down for that.
The only thing else I added was that's where I put that for the summer.
Oh, you monster!
No, I think I'm the monster for this.
You guys, he's adding the Vanilla Ice movie.
Yes. And also later
We
this
do
year,
need to
we're
do
gonna-
more great trash. I think Captain America is
Yeah.
kind of a decent start. Although
It
I
is
don't
a
even know if I
different one,
quite
yeah.
consider it great trash because it's
No.
okay.
Well,
you know?
on August 11th, we're gonna have the showcase of trash for that
Oh,
episode.
it's gonna be so
That's all I'm gonna
bad.
tell. That's all I'm gonna say about it right now.
It's going to be
So
it's
bad.
going to be so trashy. So but yes, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Algorithm stuff helps us. Check out Bobby Quarters over there. He's got a YouTube channel that this is
Yes.
on. You got the Organized Chaos podcast channel. You got Organized Chaos. Like, subscribe to all the channels. We got initiative stream this Wednesday. I got a solo stream on Thursday. I got comic book polls. Actually, I need to get a new comic book poll out, so keep an eye out on my community tab, on the Organized Chaos community tab. I'll get out a new comic book poll for Thursday out shortly after this stream's over. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No.
In that case, guys, party on and be excellent to each other.
Take it easy, guys.